In this video, we're going to be talking about user interactions. To begin, we should look at our plan. How do we want to design our app? And this is important no matter what kind of application you're creating. You need to refer back to your plan to see what kind of user interactions you need for your application. So for this one, our example is the basic task app that we've had in previous lessons, and we'll build upon that. So remember, our actions, we wanted to record new tasks. So we needed a user to click on the home screen for a new task and then enter the new task and for us to see a summary of the tasks. So let's get into the project and take a look at what we needed or how we were able to do this. So on the home page of our to-do app, we have new task. Now, that is going to be the user being able to scroll down, look at their tasks, what they need to do, and click New Task. Once they click New Task, that will take them to the New Task page. Then they can submit a new task. So they can actually say, I need to buy Chipotle. Go to store, right? So they're going to do that, and then they're going to submit it. And then if we scroll to the bottom, we see it. I need to buy Chipotle, go to the store. We're going to end the session there and then make it again. Okay. So we see that we were able to have a new task button, be able to have the user interact, go to another page, and then enter that information. So how is that possible? Well, we needed to create a button. So we dragged the button to our canvas. And once we had the button there, we needed to assign an action for what it was going to do. Now, on the right-hand side of the screen, let me change the positioning. On the right-hand side of the screen, we have the properties right here. If we click actions, and then from actions, now we can decide what to do. Now, once we click open, that will allow us to build out the actions of what we want to do. Now, if you look at the top, it says on tap, on double tap, or a long press. So we can even have or customize the behavior of how we want the user to interact with the application and then have it do certain actions. For us, we're just going to have a tab. From there, we're having action one, and we're saying navigate to new task, navigate to the page. So all it's doing is when the user clicks the button, it will take them to the next page. And we're designating which page to go to. Which page? The new task page. Once they're on the new task page, they can put in name of task, description, and then they're going to click the submit button again. Now, we want the submit button this time to do multiple things. Remember, we broke this down in the video how to create a to-do task app, the basic one earlier in the course, and you can refer back. But let's just look briefly at what that button does when they put in their name of the task, description of the task, what's going to happen next. If we click on the action button here, we see that there's 3 actions here. So we're going to see where it says Action Flow Editor, and we're going to click Open. That's on the right-hand side. Here, we're going to have 3 different actions take place when you click the button. And some people have 40 actions, tons of actions, a lot. Maybe not 40, but a lot of actions happen. So what do we have here? Number 1, we have action 1. We validate the form. What does that mean? That means when the user puts in the title and description of the task, we validate it, which means that we're going to now accept that response and we're going to do something with it. What are we going to do? That comes down to step 2. We're going to do a back-end call. So we're going to create a document. Bottom line is, once we get that information from that form, that submission, we are now going to save that information, and it's going to be added to our database. And then after it's saved to our database, we're going to navigate back to the home page. That all happens with one click. So that's what's so powerful about these actions and what we can do with these user interactions. When they're clicking buttons, when they're clicking elements in the application, we can have a lot of things happen. And so once we do that, that produces the outcome of getting a new response or a new task to our homepage in what we just saw in the test. So that's an example of having a implementing user input and seeing the feedback loop when we do that, right? We can always, again, create that test mode to be able to see what the user can do and track it and all of those things. And it's really important that we take the time to write out in our plan what we needed to do. What buttons are we going to use? What's going to happen? Writing down those details, all those things. We have it in the breakdown here, and then we have it in the plan to make sure we have all of those details listed as well right there. Now, if you're trying to create more elements or more interactive elements, what you can do is, depending on whatever we're clicking on, for example, text, we can go to a text, and then we can see also, once we click on the element, what can we do with it? Here we have the properties, but we can have an action. So if they're clicking the title, we could have other things happen to the title if we wanted to. We could have it go to different pages if we wanted to. But remember, what I would really stress about developing an application, an MVP, a minimal viable product, is make it simple. Create simple buttons. Make sure that it's intuitive for people. See how people react to it, and don't overthink it. Add all these other elements that you have to have in it just to have perks, right? It's important to have the bare minimum. In the past, we have looked at different examples. I'm always like, go look at applications that you use all the time and look at the very first versions. A lot of people look at like Instagram now, but Instagram was very different when it first started, and you can see what buttons they use first, what were they doing, and then they added over time. The same thing when you're creating your application, you have to think about what is the bare minimum, what is the most streamlined approach, how many buttons do they need to have, and then add on based on user feedback, based on what you're seeing into the analytics, not just what you think should happen. Base it on data and what your best users are saying, not just ones that want everything, they want the moon, ones that are power users, or ones that are using the app a lot, or ones that are sprouts, meaning like ones that are advocates. They get other people to download the app or use it. Talk to them, see what you need to do to add more user interactions or more things that you're going to be adding to your application. I'll see you in the next video.
That was a short clip from the complete FlutterFlow developer course inside the No Code MBA membership area. Now, to get full access to this course and many other no code tutorials, simply go to nocode.mba or click the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and share this video and subscribe for more tutorials like this.